to welcome you to this 13th annual event that always coincides with homecoming. And as you can see, the banner in the hall, it has just been a phenomenal week as we celebrate our community and the great support. So the Minnetonka Alumni Awards are a celebration of the incredible, rich history of this high school. It is our opportunity to recognize the outstanding achievements and contributions that our graduates and faculty members have made and continue to make in our community. This is an incredibly special place with such great support from all in the room and beyond. I have the honor to introduce our first speaker, which is our new superintendent, David Law. Following Superintendent Law will be the Minnetonka Alumni Association President, Marietta Jacobson. Superintendent Law began on July 1st to lead our district. Superintendent Law was a superintendent of Anoka Hennepin School District, the largest school district in Minnesota. It's been my pleasure to get to know David Law, and please join me in welcoming him to Minnetonka High School today.
What an amazing place it is that you come from. And Principal Erickson and my predecessors have set a Minnetonka tradition of excellence and innovation that I'm committed to follow. But as I look at the programs we're giving kids, and I was staring at the wall of the amazing places our students go beyond high school, there is rich tradition here. I want to call out a couple of guests that are important to me. Dr. Don Dreyer and I were just talking. He was superintendent from 1971 to 1995, 24 years. As a superintendent in 2022, that's 10 lifetimes for a superintendent, and I stand in awe of all the time he spent. I also have our board chair, Chris Vitale, who's here, who has steered the ship through some of the rockiest times in public education in my 30-year career, and to be here coming through and providing excellence, it took a very strong board. And my assistant superintendent, Dr. Amy Ledoux, is here also. A commitment to her, she's not an alumni grad, but she's really proud of our programs. I'd make just 2 or 3 comments. This high school has 37 National Merit Scholars for the last year. That's noteworthy to me because the national message is that schools and students struggled coming through the pandemic. Well, we have 37 students who say that to the contrary. That's almost a record high. For comparison, a school that I left that I was proud of, Champlain Park High School, very similar in size, had 17. We also had 59 International Baccalaureate Diploma graduates last year. For the next 10 districts that offer that program, if you add up all of their IB graduates, they don't add up to 59. As I was looking through the paper, and I'm an avid fan of high school activities, theater, marching band, athletics, for all our fall activities, all but one sport are ranked among the 10 best, 5 best, or number 1 in the state to kick off the year. I've stepped into a position where excellence is an expectation and an outcome, and certainly as we celebrate a soccer team that was state champions and undefeated, it's been a long tradition. So I'll leave with this comment. My friend, where's my friend from Skyline High School? Would you raise your hand? I was walking around saying, why are you here today to people? And she said, well, I'm here from Idaho to learn why we have an alumni association. What would you say? And I would tell you that it's a chance to remind the community how amazing our graduates are. And it's a chance to invite the community into our schools to show you how amazing our current students are. So I hope you experience that. Congratulations on your success, and thank you for coming back and joining us.
Good morning, my name is Marietta Jacobson. I'm class of 1970. Yep, you can do the math. I'll be 70 years old next week. The same year that the high school came to be. I do have low mileage because I don't have children. I have been in the Minnetonka Alumni Association since the start, when 3 forward-thinking men, Tad Shaw, who was on the school board, local dentist, Dr. Miller, and Minnetonka West is best, civic teacher, Steve Frazier, they got together and said, hey, let's plan a street party in Excelsior to celebrate Minnetonka High School turning 50. One small seed, and here we are 20 years later. I told the MAA board I would be happy to be president once I retired from my job at Abbott Northwestern Hospital. They remembered, and they voted me in. I do have to be searching for some more royal blue apparel. And if you want more blue apparel, you're in luck because the Skipper Booster Club is opening at 11 so that you can buy merchandise that's royal blue. It's my pleasure to welcome you to the 13th Annual Alumni Awards Brunch. The Minnetonka Alumni Association partners with the public schools to create this event in 2009 as a way to honor and recognize accomplished alumni and the faculty who inspired all of us. Over the years, this event continues to grow. Before we begin our program, I'd like to take a minute to recognize the Minnetonka Alumni Association board members who are here today. If you are here, please stand. Lynn Cravey, teacher extraordinaire, in his blue. Scott Merriweather, he's our treasurer. Carrie Ann Aline, put on your crown. She was crowned homecoming queen. We always like to have a student rep on our team so they can help us with our cell phones and stuff. We have other board members, but they weren't able to attend today. I also want to introduce Daniel Campbell. Stand up. He didn't want to, but... Well, wait, let me tell you what he's done. He's one of the communication people from the district, and he is our liaison, so he comes to all our meetings. And then he puts together our fabulous alumni magazine. We have extras from the previous years out there, and you're welcome to take them. He also put those together, too. And you can watch his son grow, because he keeps putting that picture in of his child. Okay, so as you entered, you should have received a program, and we put some on the tables too. Inside are great stories about the award winners, as well as a couple things I would like to highlight from the back of the book. First, I want to extend a personal invitation to all alumni and retired teachers here today that are involved with us. If you want to shape the future of the alumni community, we have 7 open seats on our board to fill before our all-school class reunion, which was pushed out to the weekend of July 27, 2024. So put that down on your calendars, July 27, 2024. We're a fun group, and we're a good-looking group, proven by Queen Cariana, and we had another student rep that was also homecoming queen, so we're a good-looking group. I'd also like to invite you each to submit nominations for the 2023 Alumni Awards. We're especially looking to increase the number of nominations we get for young alumni and also our teachers. So let us know if there's anyone from your high school career that deserves to be recognized. Lastly, on the program, you can find information on how to make a gift to us. As part of the Minnetonka Alumni Association commitment to support our current students, the association funds teacher grants in partnership with the school foundation. These grants make innovative ideas from teachers a reality and enhance the ability of our students to learn. Through the generosity of alumni like you, we've been able to give a total of almost $4,000 this year to fully fund 5 different grants from the teachers. We have funded the Wizard of Oz musical for our elementary schools. We did art on a cart for the art teacher. We did handbells and many other grants over the years. Be sure to join us today at the end of the program to see how incredible our high school facilities have changed. We're going to have tours starting at noon, and the students take us around, and you can see the smart boards and all kinds of cool things that are happening in our classrooms. Last year, the school purchased the interactive touch video board behind the buffet table. You want to check it out because if you are an award winner, there's your picture and the story about you. It's pretty cool. And finally, I want to thank everyone here today who has already made a gift when purchasing the ticket online through Eventbrite. Your generosity helps us do great events like this and also the teacher grants. We put Kleenex on the table today because our alumni have inspiring stories and they always make me tear up. With that, I welcome you again and I hope you enjoy the next part of the show.
So we begin our program today with 2 recipients of the Distinguished Alumni Award. The Distinguished Alumni Award is Minnetonka's premier alumni honor, recognizing distinguished professional achievement, leadership, and service toward the greater good. Our first honoree is Dr. Courtney Albinson from the class of 1992. Courtney is a nationally recognized leader in sports psychology and serves as the Director of Sports Psychology Services at Northwestern University in Evanston, Illinois. Introducing Courtney is her husband and 1992 classmate, Kirk.
My name is Kirk Albinson, and I have the honor of introducing my wife, Dr. Courtney Albinson, recipient of the 2022 Minnetonka High School Distinguished Alumni Award. I have known Courtney since early in our years at Minnetonka High School and have been a witness to her character and dedication to achieving success in anything and everything she puts her mind to. Courtney has exemplified what it means to be a Minnetonka skipper, whether it was athletics at MHS, where she was a three-sport athlete for all 4 years, and serving as captain of all 3 sports to boot, or her academic studies at Minnetonka, an undergraduate degree from Notre Dame, a master's from the University of Minnesota, and a PhD from the University of North Texas. Or her professional career as a nationally renowned sports psychologist, serving the mental health needs of collegiate athletes at Northwestern University, and volunteering her time to help others by leading and advancing sports psychology on the national stage. Or her commitment, dedication as a loving wife and a wonderful mother to our 3 beautiful children. Courtney has exemplified what it is to be a skipper. Those who know Courtney know she isn't just about work and accomplishments. Courtney's desire to relax and have fun, whether hanging out on the lake, at the beach, or on family vacations, is contagious. Courtney uplifts others and naturally encourages everyone to be the best true version of themselves without having to say a word. There simply aren't enough adjectives to describe who Courtney is. She's committed, resilient, funny, beautiful, compassionate, gritty, intelligent, supportive, and an all-around wonderful person. I love you, Courtney, and we are all so proud of you. Thank you for being you. Go Tonka!
Thank you so much. I'd like to thank the Minnetonka Alumni Association, Superintendent Law, Principal Erickson for this tremendous honor. Minnetonka High School has a special place in my heart and has played an important role in my career and passions. It's an honor to be recognized among the many talented Minnetonka alumni. Thank you all so much for being here to share in this occasion. A primary reason why I have chosen the career that I have, supporting the mental health and performance of athletes, college athletes, is because of the support that I received growing up to pursue my dreams and passions as an athlete, and the support I received when facing the inevitable ups and downs of an athletic career. Just a few months ago, we celebrated the 50-year anniversary of the passing of Title IX, which paved the way for girls like me to have greater access to educational opportunities, including athletics. One thing I know, though, is that access is one thing and inclusion is another. And the reason why I have such fondness for Minnetonka High School is because of the community that surrounded me, a community that I was proud to represent and to which I felt a strong sense of belonging. These feelings were born out of the relationships that I shared with the educators and the coaches who invested in me. Heidi Larkin, my gymnastics coach, Bob Rogness and Jane Reamer Morgan, my track coaches, Zibby Tully Nunn, my athletic trainer. I realize how special it is to feel a part of a community like this, especially now that I have 3 teenage boys of my own, Tyler, Carter, and Quinn, who are in the midst of or recently just navigated their high school experiences. I've got a few folks here I want to recognize at this table over here that are very special to me. First of all, this summer, my husband, Kirk, also a 92 grad, and we attended our 30-year Minnetonka High School reunion. One of the topics of conversation that came up during the event was trying to figure out how many other people in our high school class ended up marrying each other like we did. I'm grateful that a first encounter in freshman social studies class and a group project in a sophomore social studies class eventually led to a friendship during our senior year of high school and a lifelong friendship through marriage. I'd like to thank my husband not only for nominating me for this award, but for always being there for me, encouraging me every step of the way as I balance pursuing a career and being a mom to our 3 boys. I love you, Kirk. And I could go on and on about how special those boys are to me, but you know, they're teenagers and they're boys, so that would be really agonizing for them to endure. So I'm gonna leave it at that. I also have some other special guests with me. My mother-in-law, Karen Albinson, my sister-in-law, Kimberly Albinson Waddell, a 1990 graduate of Minnetonka High School, Aunt Mary Lungberg. I want to thank you all for celebrating me today and always. And last but definitely not least, I want to recognize my forever cheerleader, supporter, encourager, teacher, and counselor, my mom, Karen Hennef. Believe it or not, also a Karen. We've got two moms named Karen. And if you listen closely enough, you can still hear her cheering, "Go Tonka, go Tonka, go Tonka." All my kids know, they've heard the stories. But at all my sporting events, Mom was loud and she was proud and she was cheering us on. Mom, thanks for being my mom. I love you. I'm proud to be your daughter and share this award with you. So once again, I want to thank you. I want to thank the Alumni Association. I really appreciate this lovely celebration, and I'm humbled and honored by this recognition. Thank you.
Thank you, Courtney, for that just amazing message and story. The second recipient of the Distinguished Alumni Award is Bruce Getz from the class of 1963. Bruce has always had a passion for nature and the outdoors. Throughout his life, Bruce always had found a way to bring that love of nature into his interests, from being a Boy Scout in his youth to spending 43 years at Northland College and developing the innovative curriculum that has transformed it into one of the most prestigiously environmentally focused colleges in Wisconsin and the nation. Bruce graduated from Minnetonka in 1963 and started his academic career by majoring in chemistry at the University of Minnesota. However, he soon realized that he didn't want to work in a lab for the rest of his life. Given his lifelong passion for the outdoors, he soon switched majors into geography and geology, later attending Northland College to complete his master's degree. After graduation, he stayed on as a professor. As a professor, Bruce was charged with developing new environmental studies curriculum. In this role, he started a number of programs, including outdoor education, meteorology, natural resources, and geographic information systems. Bruce always emphasized the importance of being in the landscape his students were learning about. Starting in 1972, he began to take students on extended trips over spring term to further immerse them in the environments they were studying and places they normally would not see. His trips included such places such as Hawaii, the American Southwest, the Pacific Northwest, Mexico, and more. Bruce retired at Northland College in 2016. The following year, he received the highest academic honor as a faculty member can receive, Professor Emeritus. Unfortunately, Bruce is not able to be here today, but we wanted to share his excitement and appreciation of all of you. Now, we have the Distinguished Service Award. This award recognizes significant volunteer service benefiting the greater good, philanthropic leadership, or service to the Minnetonka Alumni Association. The recipient of the 2022 Distinguished Service Award is James Turner from the class of 1969. James traveled annually to Guatemala with the volunteer surgical team for 20 years to help those without access to proper medical treatment until retiring in 2018. Introducing James is his classmate and former Distinguished Service Award winner, Bill Lober from the class of 1969.
Good morning. It's with great pleasure that I introduce this year's winner of the Minnetonka Distinguished Service Award, Dr. James Turner, class of 69. My name is Bill Lober. I've been Jim's friend for 66 years. We went to school together up to and including University of Minnesota. After graduation, me and 3 other folks went down to Central America on a 12,000-mile road trip all the way down to Nicaragua. We fell in love with Guatemala. When we returned, Jim went to medical school, and upon graduation, he formed a medical practice in Waconia. Some years later, Jim was invited to join another group of surgeons on a medical mission down to Guatemala. Jim did this for over 20 years, participating in over 1,000 surgeries. Unlike better-known medical missions that are very well funded, Jim and his colleagues paid their own way and bought their own medical supplies for these 20 years of work they did. For a while, the Guatemala political climate made it very difficult for them to operate in Guatemala, so they moved their operation to Philippines to do the same thing for a couple years. Later, Jim arranged with his home hospital, Ridgeview Medical Center, to have $250,000 worth of medical equipment shipped to a new hospital in Guatemala. This is a new hospital, but they lacked modern medical equipment, so Jim sent this equipment there. He and his fellow colleagues also arranged for a 2-year scholarship for a young staff member from Guatemala to be properly trained so they could service and maintain this equipment. Jim also arranged with his church to have a van sent to Guatemala, a fully equipped van that they could use as an ambulance. As if this weren't enough evidence of Jim's generosity in sharing his many gifts, he is also a world-class award-winning watercolor artist who helps many young people perfect their artistic skills at the Minnetonka Center for the Arts, the Arboretum, West Tonka Middle School, and Mound High School. I am honored to know Jim. He has a true servant's heart, and this is what the Minnetonka Alumni Association Distinguished Service Award embodies. Paraphrasing the immortal words of Yogi Berra, thank you, Jim Turner, for making this wonderful award ceremony necessary. Congrats, my friend.
And please welcome James to the stage.
Thank you very much. This is the first time I've seen that video, and there's a few exaggerations in there. But I want to thank the Alumni Association here for the award, for all of the awards, and I've been to these ceremonies before. It's a wonderful thing to recognize alumni, new and old. And there's a couple of people I'd like to recognize. First of all, my old friend, my oldest friend, and fellow Alumni Award winner, Bill Lober. Thank you for nominating me and going through all the work of the nomination and the introduction. I really appreciate that. There's one thing I want to say about receiving this award is that for 2 reasons, it's a little bit embarrassing. And the first reason is that although I did in fact travel to Guatemala for 20 years, donate my services and help to make the new hospital, and it's in the mountainous regions of Guatemala on a lake called Atitlan, slight typo here. I did this along with a group of people that varied from 25 to 50 people, and all of them not only donated their time and their expertise, their energy and their compassion, but also, as Bill mentioned, paid their own way, paid their airfare, their lodging, their food, and donated a stipend to help the hospital to afford to provide the services we were there for. Along with those 50 people, there were the support people, people like my wife, Kristen, who stayed home with the kids while I was off traveling, and later when the kids grew up was able to come along and volunteer her expertise in nursing in the recovery room. I have found out through long conversations with my peers that my experience is not unusual. That among the physicians, nurses, support people that I know, many have done similar things, have traveled to other countries, have traveled to Guatemala specifically. I'm willing to bet that within this room, there are dozens of people who have donated either time or money to missions within the United States, to Habitat for Humanity, for help with hurricane relief, for help with the underserved communities for medical services. And I feel like that is more a common thing than an exception. I'm honored to be up here receiving this award, but I want to receive it on behalf of all of the people who have contributed to the same efforts I have. The second reason it's a little embarrassing for me to be here receiving this is one that I think is very common, if not universal, among volunteers, and that's that we come home richer for having done the service that we do. That at the end of the trips, we sit and we talk about the week that went by, the long hours and the efforts, the failures and the successes, and we wonder where we can sign up to come back because we are enriched by the experience. I'm going to accept this award and I'm going to treasure it, but I'm doing it with those reservations and for all those other people who've done the same thing. Thank you.
Next, there's our Young Alumni Achievement Award. This award honors alumni within 15 years of graduating from Minnetonka High School for distinguished post-secondary academic achievement, professional achievement, distinguished leadership, and/or distinguished service toward the greater good. This year we have 2 honorees. Congratulations to our first Young Alumni Achievement Award recipient, Alexa Bussman, from the class of 2016. Alexa has served in a multitude of nonprofits and social advocacy organizations across numerous communities, including Novel Hand, an online publication dedicated to bridging the gap between activism and impact. Introducing Alexa is her sister, Erica, from the class of 2018.
Hi, I'm pleased to introduce Alexa Bussman. Alexa is a 2016 graduate of MHS and is currently a second-year law student at the University of Texas at Austin. She first found her passion for service as a student at Minnetonka, where she co-led the National Honor Society and the Class of 2016 Legacy Project. As an undergrad at Vanderbilt University, she used her coursework in economics and political science to further serve local and global communities. After her graduation in 2020, Alexa planned to serve for a year with the International Justice Mission in Guatemala before attending law school. Unfortunately, COVID-19 prevented her from doing so. Instead, she devoted her efforts to founding and editing the digital publication Novel Hand, which engages students from across the country in exploring solutions to global humanitarian and environmental crises. While it's only been a little over 6 years since Alexa graduated from MHS, she has repeatedly dug past adversity in the pursuit of service, and I can only imagine how she will continue to do so in the future.
Let's give Alexa a round of applause. Unfortunately, Alexa is not able to be here today, but she wanted to share how excited she was to receive this particular award.
Hey folks, I'm Alexa. I am a second-year law student at the University of Texas School of Law here in Austin. I so wish I could be there today to accept the Young Alumni Award, but unfortunately it just wasn't possible with school and other commitments. But I wanted to share a little bit about the work that I do, what service means to me, and why it's such an honor to win this award. So during my time at Minnetonka High School, I would say sort of my main activity, what really defined me as a person, was service. And I volunteered at the high school, I volunteered in my community in various ways, and that was just a huge part of my identity and how I used my time. And heading to college, I just didn't have those same opportunities, which was really a bummer for me. It had been such a big part of my experience at Minnetonka, and then in college I think it's just such a time of focusing on yourself and developing yourself and being on campus and things like that I didn't really get to explore that in the same way. But something I did get to spend a lot of my summers working for nonprofits and things like that, and got to sort of explore what it would look like to serve in my career. And kind of, I'm going through school and all these things. What does it look like to make service not just something I do outside of the classroom like I had at Minnetonka, but what does it look like to make it part of my career? And so I got to use my summers to work at nonprofits, and during the summer of 2019, that all kind of crystallized for me when I was serving with a nonprofit in Guatemala, and started to think about, I do these things to help people, whether that's human rights work, whether that's volunteering, at a homeless shelter or something like that. But how do I really know that what I'm doing to help other people actually has an impact and actually is sustainable and really effective for the communities that I want to serve? And so I developed that sort of mindset because the work I was doing was in monitoring and evaluation of programs in Guatemala. But I took that mindset back to my college campus. I was at Vanderbilt and started to really think about what that looked like in my personal life with my service and then what it would look like in a future career. And out of that, I started a community and organization called Novel Hand that looks at what does sustainable and equitable impact look like in our careers, in our communities, and in our personal lives. And I think that's part of why I won the award, was just my work with Novel Hand, growing that community of students and young adults who are really interested in exploring those questions of impact and sustainable and equitable impact. In a quantitative way, but also qualitatively. How do people who we're trying to help really think about impact, what is actually helpful to them and not just, feels good to me. And so since graduating from college, I've really had the opportunity to put some of those ideas into practice. I worked for a year between college and law school and really got to see within an organization, within a nonprofit organization, how they look at impact, what that really looks like, but also got to reflect on that for myself and in working on Novel Hand during that time. And in law school, I've gotten to really explore service again in a meaningful way, doing pro bono projects. In my 1L year, got to try a bunch of different things. And then this year, I'm helping to lead pro bono volunteer projects, which is really meaningful for me because I get to combine leadership and service in a really practical way, and then serving on clinics and things like that. And so I really appreciate this award. I know I'm young, and it's exciting to be acknowledged for the contributions I have made, but I really do credit the way that Minnetonka sort of instilled in me this love of service and those opportunities as part of why I've won this award. And thank you so much, and have a great rest of your Saturday.
And so you heard the word service, and one thing she mentioned, I know Alexa as her principal at that time, is a legacy project. And so every grade level starts in their freshman year picking a project in which they want to serve the greater good. And they carry that project through their 4 years, and Alexa had a huge impact on the school through that work. But that is the ongoing commitment of the district around service, and it's really done in an intentional way, in addition to all the other ways students do that on a daily basis. So our second person, a Young Alumni Achievement honoree, is Dr. Brent Cornell from the class of 2007. Brett set a record at the Drexel University by earning his PhD in 3.5 years. He currently works at Inari Medical in California, where he develops devices that help prevent diseases, deep vein thrombosis, and pulmonary embolisms. Introducing Brett is his classmate, Andy Samborski from the class of 2007.
Hi, my name is Andy Samborski, graduate of Minnetonka High School, class of 2007. I have the honor to introduce this year's Young Alumni Achievement Award, Dr. Brett Cornell. Dr. Cornell graduated from Minnetonka High School in 2007. He went on to complete his undergraduate studies at Gustavus Adolphus College with a Bachelor of Arts in Biology and received many academic accolades, including the Dean's List Scholarship and the Dean's List. Following college, he worked for a company called DaVita Clinical Research, where he helped to start a nationwide biorepository for end-stage renal disease patients. He then matriculated into the rigorous neuroscience PhD program at Drexel University, where he set a department record at Drexel University by earning his PhD in 3.5 years. He then worked for Boston Scientific for 4 years, where he served as a senior medical writer. Currently, he works for Inari Medical, located in California, where he develops devices that may help prevent venous disease, deep vein thrombosis, and pulmonary embolisms. Aside from his national academic and professional accolades, Dr. Cornell is a great husband and father to his wife Amanda and his son Connor. With that, please join me in congratulating Dr. Brett Cornell on a well-deserved Young Alumni Achievement Award. Thank you.
So unfortunately, Brett is not able to join us today due to his work travel, but I wanted to share how he's honored by this award in this video.
Hello, everyone, and good morning. I am Brett Cornell, class of 2007, and I am honored to be receiving the Minnetonka Young Alumni Achievement Award. I wish I could be there today to be thanking you all in person. First off, I really want to thank Dr. Andrew Samborski, my good friend and classmate from '07, who nominated me for this award. Unannounced to me, is really quite a surprise when this came in that he had went through with that and nominated me. And I also want to thank the award committee and selection committee for selecting me, as well as everyone who helped set up today's event and make this possible. I also want to thank all of the Minnetonka teachers and staff through the years, from Groveland Elementary School up through Minnetonka High School, for creating the amazing experience that I had in the Minnetonka education system. I don't think I fully realized the quality of the education that I received at Minnetonka until much later in my career. I think it stands just looking at the people that have come out of Minnetonka, where they are today, everything that they have done. For example, Dr. Samborski, Andy, my friend who nominated me for this award, he could easily be standing here in my place. He was a 4.0 student at Minnetonka, athlete, top of his class at Carleton, top of his class at medical school, president of National Medical Honor Society, and is now doing his fellowship for orthopedic surgery in Los Angeles, working with the LA Rams and the LA Dodgers and the sidelines of all the LA Rams games. And he could easily be taking this award in my place as a high achiever from Minnetonka. Following Minnetonka, I went on to Gustavus Adolphus College down in St. Peter, and it did take me a while to kind of hit my stride in my academic career. I wasn't the best student at Minnetonka, and it took me some time before I ended up being a better student later on. At Gustavus, I actually started off as an economics major my first couple of years, and junior year ended up switching to a biology major, where I really ended up hitting my stride and managed to complete my biology major in 2 years, and then continued on to actually work at a DeVita Clinical Research, again with good friend Andy, Dr. Samborski, where at the time he was applying for medical school, and I didn't want to be left in the dust, so I ended up applying for graduate schools and taking some online classes to the University of Minnesota, and got accepted to Drexel University College of Medicine, where I ended up doing my PhD in neuroscience, focusing on cellular molecular developmental neuroscience. My research is focused on neurodevelopmental disorders, and ended up defending my thesis after 3.5 years, and then moving on to, I think, one of the achievements I'm most proud of is actually then got accepted to a position as an adjunct professor at St. John's University up in St. Cloud, teaching biology. So I was really quite humbled in this position to be working as a professor, as a 26, 27-year-old. A lot of imposter syndrome going on there as I tried to got my stride together and figure out what I was doing. It was a really great experience being able to teach there. And after that, I decided to try and check out the world of industry and medical devices and pharmacy, and this is where I now ended up working for a couple different medical device companies now, where I'm at currently. And I think all of this is quite surprising, I'd say. Just to begin with, in high school, I have dyslexia, ADHD, and I really thought that it was not going to go much of anywhere academically with I wasn't very dedicated, and I was like, well, I have dyslexia, might as well not try. And I think it really didn't dawn on me until Miss Pilsner, my 9th, 10th grade English teacher at Minnetonka, she pulled me aside at one point and told me how impressed she was with my writing and how I was doing in the course, and recommended me for some different advanced courses and programs, which at the time was not a good enough student. I ended up not pursuing, but it's really it was my first, instillment from a teacher, showing me that, you could be really good at this, which I never thought, writing or that sort of work was something that was in the books for me, being dyslexic. And that is something that if I put my, time into, I thought it might, turned out I can actually do okay at. Yeah, so I guess maybe I want to leave this here with a quote from Miss Pilsner, something that she made everyone in her English class memorize, a quote from Hamlet. This above all, to thine own self be true, it must then follow as the night the day, thou canst not then be false to any man. And I think those are great words to live by, and thank you all again for this award. I'm very honored, and again, wish I could be there with you. Thank you.
And congratulations to Brett. Now we'll induct a new team into the Skippers Hall of Fame. The Skippers Hall of Fame recognizes outstanding achievement by a singular alumnus or group in the arts, academics, and athletics. The 2002 inductee is a remarkable 2001-2002 girls soccer team. The 2001-2002 girls soccer team was unstoppable. They completed their regular season undefeated and won the Classic Lake Conference, the section championship, and the 2001 Minnesota Class AA State Championship. Introducing the 2001-2002 girls soccer team are Jeffrey Junkamar and their coach, Kira Monahan.
The Minnetonka High School girls soccer team of 2001 being inducted into the MHS Hall of Fame. Wow. When I was asked to say a few words as an introduction, I felt honored and blessed to know and have worked with many of the senior girls on the team. Then I thought, where do I start? I went to my closet and pulled out a box labeled High School Season 2001. And as I started looking at things inside the box, it seemed the best place to start might be with the girls themselves. I'm going to share with you 4 published quotes from a few of the girls that set the stage for the 2001 season. Maybe you can guess who said these. Ever since we were under 12s, we talked about how when we got to high school, our team was going to make it to state and win. We've been together every summer, and that is my favorite part, and I think it is our strength over everyone else. Aaron Horan. With each passing year we spent on the club team, our expectations for our senior year mounted. That led to preseason dreams for 2001, which included a conference title, an undefeated season, and a return trip to state. Nancy Poaga. It clearly helps in big games when you have your best friends with you. That's what inspires you. We wanted this for each other. Natalie Coleman. And last, most of us have been playing together since we were 11 or 12. We've been talking about this since then. We knew it was now or never. Lauren Rugemer. And with that, I will turn it over to the high school head coach, Kieran Monahan, as he was the architect of the season itself.
Hello, I'm Kieran Monahan, and I was honored to coach the Minnetonka High School girls soccer team back in 2001. I'm just as proud of this group today as it's inducted into the Skippers Hall of Fame. It's been 21 years since these outstanding individuals came together as a team to put together an undefeated season, culminating in a state championship. All of us involved have had much time to look back and reflect on that season of excellence. I have many fond memories of the times we spent together between August and November of that year. Early in the season, there was that unforgettable trip to Duluth where we ate dinner together and went bowling. A trip that bolstered team spirit and strengthened already solid friendships. It was a great way to kick off the season. Back when it happened, the season was a bit of a blur, with games coming thick and fast. You, the players, always impressed with your incredible talent, speed, determination and persistence on the field. As a group of young people, one couldn't have asked for more. You were always kind, caring, energetic, impeccably behaved, and a true joy to be around with your exuberance and sense of fun. You made our school and community proud. While this occasion primarily recognizes your achievements on the field, it's also a time to think about all of those who helped to make that season so unique and special. So I'd like to take a moment to do that. Starting with parents and families. You are always so giving of your time, generous in your support and love for your daughters. Without your guidance and encouragement, today's celebration would not be possible. Fellow coaches, there is a saying that goes something like this: it takes a village to raise a soccer player. While I might be employing some poetic license, it's clear that as a group of players, you had received outstanding coaching before you were high schoolers. I also want to make special mention of our assistant coach, Andy Moll, who played a key role in the team's success. Andy's demeanor, knowledge and guidance helped to mold you into the successful team that you became. There were so many others who also contributed to your success that year. Steve Baran, our team manager, our trainer Zibby, who tended to your bumps and bruises, and those in the activities office like Judy Trombley, who were so supportive of girls' athletics, and in particular, the soccer program. We also had the best cheerleaders in the state. Who can ever forget Andy's favorite cheer? Tick, 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 boom, boom, dynamite. That cheer was so good, Andy used to sing it on the team bus, and even now he still hums it occasionally. I'm sure you've all moved on from the high school to do great things, living interesting and successful lives with great stories to tell. Congratulations again for that wonderful season and your much deserved induction into the Skippers Hall of Fame.
I'm Erin Hork, Erin Horan, one of the co-captains of the 2001, it's a lot of words, Minnetonka Girls State Champs. It's great to be here to honor and recognize our achievement from 20 plus years ago. Really kind of stings to say that out loud. But it also kind of feels like yesterday. And it's been great to get back together and see everybody, and it really feels like it was a year ago we were all playing together. So 20 plus years, I have proudly worn this sweatshirt. And just as I've hung on to this sweatshirt, I've hung on to a lot of great memories from our time together as a team, from pasta parties to sleepovers, TPs, all of it really culminating with getting to play in the Metrodome and winning the state championship. It was just an ultimate high. So this team was the embodiment of really the work hard, play hard mentality. We put a lot of time and effort in on the field, but we also had a lot of fun. There was a great camaraderie and just great times. As some of you remember, we did the cha-cha slide at the start of every home game in front of our early arriving fans and also our opponents. Very strange intimidation tactic. But we had a great time and we loved every minute. It's an honor to accept this award on all of our behalfs. It really, truly was a team effort, and we wouldn't be here without everyone's individual contributions. Everyone brought so much to the table, and it was a team effort. So thank you all. Thanks to us. Cheers to us. Again, as Kieran and Jeff mentioned, thank you to our parents for all of your ongoing support. Thank you to our coaches for your guidance, your commitment, your time. And thank you, Ron, for nominating us. What a great reason to get back together and celebrate. So cheers to us. Thank you so much.
It is great to see a few more former Spanish students when I was teaching at that time. So congratulations to this amazing team. Those who were here at that time certainly remember that event. Our final honoree today is being inducted to the Minnetonka Faculty Hall of Fame, which recognizes former teachers and administrators who inspired in students a passion to excel with confidence and hope. Congratulations to this year's inductee, Bill Keeler. Bill taught science at Minnetonka middle and high schools from the late 50s to the early 1990s. Bill made it the highest priority to cultivate his students' curiosity and encourage them to pursue their own individual interests. Introducing Bill is his former student, Karen Nelson Olson, from the class of 1971.
It's an honor to introduce Bill Keeler, who is being inducted into the Faculty Hall of Fame today. I'm Karen Nelson Olson. Mr. Keeler was a biology teacher in both middle and high school at Minnetonka schools, and I was in his 7th grade biology class at Minnetonka West Junior High in 1965-66. That's 56 years ago. I'm not sure he'll remember me after thousands of students, but he will most likely remember my mother, Joanne Nelson, who served Minnetonka as an administrative secretary for 22 years. She passed in 2016, but she was a big fan and always meant to nominate him, so this is from her too. What made Mr. Keeler stand out was a love of science along with a love of teaching kids. He engaged students with energetic lectures combined with humor, kindness, high expectations, clear instructions in a commanding voice, and a willingness to answer the same question over and over. He communicated expectations in lots of ways, with outlines, timelines, and many reminders, but if you did the homework, lots of it, you could expect to do well. He would sometimes say, "We might have a surprise quiz this week." He'd warn us to be ready and seemed to be able to tell what our brains needed in order to understand and remember. Our class was right after lunch, and I can still see Mr. Keeler racing in the door, piles of paper and briefcase flying, with kids chasing after him with questions or just to tell him something. In the fall, I agreed to do an A-level project, but then found out that would mean going to Saturday school. Imagine a teacher who can get 25 7th graders to spend 3 hours on Saturdays at school doing experiments. But my memory of Saturdays is mostly of Mr. Keeler sitting on a lab stool with kids lined up with questions, arms waving, calling, "Mr. Keeler, Mr. Keeler." It was pretty loud, but it was the sound of learning. He inspired us to do more, even getting me to do a science fair project with only 2 weeks to go. At the end of the year, Mr. Keeler asked if any of us would be willing to volunteer to help clean up. Because we didn't want school to end, we said yes. Some of us were put on filing detail in his office, and there we had a final surprise. Huge filing cabinets with folders for every class day of the year. He taught us biology, but he showed us how to teach too. Well, there are too many Mr. Keeler stories to tell here, but I'm so happy to be giving him this award. Congrats, Mr. Keeler, and thanks.
So due to health concerns, Bill was not able to attend today, but wanted to record and did record a message for you and to share with you at this moment.
I want to thank the Minnetonka School District and Alumni Association for their honor and recognition. Teaching was my passion. I loved working with students, inspiring them to work outside of their comfort zone. In the 4 decades of teaching, every new school year brought a new group of students, all with individual learning styles. I tried to teach to each one's ability. As a teacher, you don't know the impact you have on a student until years later, like when running into them around the Minnetonka area or having their children in your class. I want to thank Karen Olson for remembering me and nominating me. I was fortunate to work with a great group of teachers that collaborated and supported one another. I want to thank them as well. Thank you, and again for this award. It means so much to me.
So I want to extend a special welcome to Bill's daughter, Diane Keeler, who will be accepting this award on his behalf.
I wish my dad could be here. Now, I'm going to be the one crying, and whoever put the tissues out, what a great idea. My dad's at Havenwood, right down the road from here, and he's in memory care, so he was not able to come today. But if any of you who had him or worked with him, he would love a visit. It's Havenwood of Minnetonka, right on Old Excelsior Boulevard. So I'm going over there afterwards to bring him his award, and I know he's going to be so excited because all his memories are of teaching and the love he had for his students. So that's all I can say, and I'm sorry I'm crying, but it just, I know what it would mean.
Thank you, Dan, and please congratulate him on our behalf. He was finishing up his career as I started my career in Minnetonka in 1993, and this is an amazing place. Those that are visiting us for the first time in a long time, please make sure you take advantage of the chance to look around the facility. One of the strengths of this district is the teaching staff that we have. I know we have a number of teachers in the audience. If you're a teacher, please just raise your hand and wave to the crowd so people can see who are several of them up. I know Juris Tarads and Lynn Cravey. And Kieran is in the back. The impact is certainly well beyond the time within the classroom. So, as I mentioned, today is homecoming, the final day. So in a matter of about 6-7 hours, this area will transform into a dance floor. So be mindful the DJ will be right above the HOCO 22 sign. And our students, we have right now about 3,600 students in the school. And so tonight in this dance area, I predict about 2,200 to 2,300. We're short 3 chaperones, so if you're able to attend, just hang out throughout the day and we can get you deputized into that role. But it really has been an incredible celebration. As you see the tour, you'll see the focus on activities and constantly as a district about what's next. Right over here you'll see the Momentum Building, which is where we have our new automotive program, and also a home renovation physics class and home renovation math class. And right now, you'll see in there 6 huge ice castle frames, the trailer, and they're going to be building that throughout the year, all the way to the new, the Vantage strands, just listening to all the different pieces. If you're ever looking to get connected, this week we had our Vantage program Mentor Kickoff. We have over 500 students in the Vantage program, which you can learn more about in the tour. But of that, each one of those students has a mentor, and many who are alumni or within our community. So if you're looking for ways to connect with current students about what they're doing, I think you'll be tremendously proud that the legacy that you have had has continued in this school every day. And I'm in awe of what our students do and their commitment, and it's great to see our alumni. So, a special day and a special event. I want to thank you. I also want to thank our amazing communications team. Andy Smith is in the back. He does all the AV work. Give Andy a round of applause and video. John Groats, who's running all the tech. I was coming back from the football game about 10:30. They were still getting things set up for all the technology and all the pieces to get put together. And obviously met Daniel Campbell, who works with the alumni group, and Dr. Jackie Getty, the Executive Director of Communications. So please give them all a round of applause. And to see the dedication of our students, Kariana Lian is in the back, and she is our be a class of 2023. Was yesterday crowned as homecoming queen, and was here late with the game. She's part of our blue crew to get the excitement in the crowd. She's here this morning to help give a tour, and then as well be back, I'm confident, for the dance. And she will be over in this area, the South Bay. One of the things we've done as a school, we've moved over 1,000 lockers in the school. So this used to be a locker bay down here. We realized students don't wear coats anymore, so they don't need lockers. And so we've replaced all those with collaborative areas. So she'll give you a great tour, and you will have even a new level of confidence in the students that are coming from Minnetonka High School for their leadership and how they operate. So thanks for being here today. Thanks for your support. This could not happen without it. We have a great community, and have a great day. Thank you.